Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. I'm back with my co-host for this evening, UCLA professor and author Chon Noriega, who curated our festival about Latino images in film. And welcome back, Chon.
Thank you, Robert. It's wonderful to be here.
It's good to have you here. Now, so far tonight, all of our films have been silent movies, but with our next movie, we're going to step into the world of talking pictures. This is a Western from the Fox Studios and from director Irving Cummings, starring Warner Baxter. It's also a TCM premiere. It's called In Old Arizona. Famous film to me for years because Warner Baxter winning the Academy Award for it.
Yeah.
And also Cisco Kid. You know, I was growing up on Cisco Kid movies. There was thousands of them, it seemed. But Warner Baxter kind of started it all with this one, I guess.
Yeah, he's technically not the first Cisco Kid. There's a silent version, but it models the O. Henry story very faithfully, where Cisco's actually an Anglo character who's a cold-blooded killer. And in this film, you have the beginning of a Mexican or Mexican-American Cisco, who's a kind of happy-go-lucky hero in the Southwest. But Warner Baxter also sets another model in place as well, which is the use of what one could call a thick Mexican accent. Really sets the stereotype for how Mexicans are portrayed in sound cinema in terms of speaking patterns. And also, even though he's the hero and all that, a kind of a simplistic character. He talks to his gun, he talks to his horse, you know, which provides some exposition, but it also kind of sets a certain framework for the character.
This was a big movie at its time, and I think also Warner Baxter played the Cisco Kid a couple of other times, didn't he?
Yeah, he played the Cisco Kid, and looking back on his career, he considered this role in particular to be his favorite performance as an actor.
You win an Academy Award, you kind of got to like it in there somewhere.
Although he said he really, part of his motivation was one, that he was playing a Robin Hood type character.
Right.
And the other is that he got to, as he said, you know, use the Mexican lingo. So he was proud of the characterization that he had in terms of speaking.
Anything particular we should watch for in this film?
There is an attempt to present a kind of a Mexican-American community by way of the love triangle that emerges with Cisco's girlfriend, Tonya. And it's Tonya, but also Tonya's cook and other women in the area who are speaking in Spanish without subtitles. And it's an interesting moment. This happens a lot throughout cinema in Hollywood, where the characters are speaking Spanish to give flavor, but there's not the sense that they're actually saying anything important, so there's no subtitling. But for Spanish speakers, it's rare instances of hearing their language or one of their languages being used in the film.
Well, let's have a look at the picture. Here it is, nominated for 5 Academy Awards, including Best Picture of the Year, and winning the Oscar for Warner Baxter as the year's Best Actor. From 1929, In Old Arizona. This is said to be the first talking picture shot completely outdoors. And here to discuss more about the film is my co-host every Tuesday and Thursday in May, author and UCLA professor Chon Noriega, an expert on the subject of Latino images in film. He's the one who wrote this interesting book called Shot in America, Television, the State, and the Rise of Chicano Cinema. So I remember the TV series Cisco Kid in the 50s, up to the mid-50s or something, with Duncan Ronaldo.
And it's one of the first television series shot in color.
Shot in color.
Leo Carrillo as his sidekick, Pancho.
But now there was a long period then that the Cisco Kid kind of disappeared.
Yeah, after the series stops in 1956, the Cisco Kid essentially disappears for 4 decades. And it's not until 1994 when Chicano filmmaker Luis Valdez, who we'll be seeing later on in the festival, makes a made-for-TV movie version of the Cisco Kid starring Jimmy Smits and Cheech Marin as Pancho.
Now, did that change the story drastically, or was he still pretty much a hero?
Well, it's an example of the way in which Latino filmmakers begin to not just provide alternatives, but they go back and they re-inhabit some of the earlier genres and even films in this case, as a way of showing how they can be done from a slightly different perspective. Now, when it's remade, they really play up more of the comedic elements, and it's a chance really more for a star turn for 2 Latino actors.
In you looking at the various Cisco Kids through the years, who do you think was the best playing it?
Well, they were all good in their own way, and it was a certain type that was kind of a part of our everyday popular culture, but I think it's important to go back and pay attention to that because that's what most people saw.
Yeah.
It was part of day-to-day popular culture.
Right. Well, we're going to move on. You're leaving right now, but you'll be back, right? So Chon's going to be back with me on Thursday to help introduce more movies in our festival about Latino images and films. In the meantime, though, stick around because the festival itself is going to continue with another TCM premiere. This is a movie from 1936, directed by Ruben Mamoulian, with a cast that includes Ida Lupino, Ida very early in her career.